Hey Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading for October 1st through the 7th. You gotta give me time to get used to the fact that it's October. Happy birthday to the Scorpios that are born end of October, before the month of November, like myself. We're gonna jump into your reading for the week ahead. And we're going to do one card for love, as always. I'm also doing love readings for the month ahead. So, go ahead and subscribe, hit notification if you haven't already. And you'll get the notification when the pick a card and the love readings are up. So, let's go ahead and see what's coming up, Scorpio. Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And of course, the love card. Love, love, love. What's happening with love? Alright. And we will do a soul homework card too, but I won't shuffle. I'll just jump right in so we can get started. Oy, the devil. Monday and Tuesday, the devil card, Scorpio, for October 1st through the 7th. So we're starting off the month on the foot of some of you insecurity, some of you doubting yourselves, some of you are being deceived by a person or a situation. I feel for some of you this is actually someone from your past coming back and trying to convince you to give them another chance, and they are really showing up like immaculately, like just spotless and gleaming and shining, like in the cartoons, like little stars around them. They know you, Scorpio. They know you well. They know what you want to hear. They know what you need. They know all of your little soft spots, all of your little all the little right places, all the little right pressure points to try to get in good with you again. This person wants to get in good with you again. They're putting that best foot forward. They are giving you the impression that things are going to be very different this time. However, this person is lying. Liar, liar, pants on fire, lying through their teeth. They want to get in for the physical intimacy. They're thinking about it. They miss it. They want you, right? So they're going to tell you what they know you want to hear. And they know, Scorpio, that you mean business. So I really feel like, unfortunately, they're putting on this mask. They're putting on this image of, convincing you in some way that it's going to be different this time. They've learned their lesson, or they're ready, or they're going to commit in some way. But it's just all a hope of getting that upper hand on you, getting to hold on to you. Some of you, this is a friend or a family member that's playing victim and playing it very, very well. I think some of you Scorpios are really starting to come up. I mean, we have had a hard time, Scorpios, believe me. We've had a hard time, and it's beginning to turn around, and there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And some of you may be feeling like, man, I can't even come up for air because the first second I'm getting a nice breeze coming in here, or the first second I'm getting my head above water, people are jumping on me and they're wanting me to rescue them too. So some of you are having that really intense energy. And I think that for most of you, it is through family. Although some of you, it could be a friend or a close friend or someone from the past that's always almost making you feel guilty for having progress in your life. And that's definitely toxic. So someone is trying to seduce some of you. Someone is trying to deceive some of you. Some of you are dealing with a lot of just kind of self-doubt, because now that things are beginning to get better, there's this fear, there's this worry of like, it's not going to work out. I'm not that lucky. I'm going to mess this up, or I'm not going to be able to keep this up, or like a lot of beating yourself up in your head or a lot of putting yourself down. So be very conscious and aware of the thoughts that you're thinking, Scorpio. And when you have those critical, negative thoughts, cancel, delete, and try to think of the opposite positive thing to replace that thought. Over time, it'll become more and more second nature to where you don't have that negative record playing in your head. So, yeah, guys, I think it's a lot of changes for a lot of you, a lot of changes. Some of you have some old pent-up rage that's coming up to the surface in the beginning of the month. Beginning of the month, obviously, because it's October 1st. But also like beginning of the week, because this is for beginning of the week. But some of you have some old pent-up rage that's really coming up, and you just might be you might need to just scream into a pillow. You might be so angry that you need to cry, some of you. But I feel like this is the last few cobwebs in the corners of the things that have been needing healing for a long time, or like the last few cobwebs of whatever was blocking you. Like you're really cleaning house very thoroughly, and you're getting into those little corners, and whatever's been trapped is being released and just being put out there so that you can move forward. I feel like coming into the fall, it's going to be a really exciting time for a lot of Scorpios, almost like a rebirth. So I think there's going to be a lot to celebrate. And of course, anytime we're on that big threshold, anytime we're about to come up, that negative ego or those, dark, lower vibrational, soul connections from the past will come up and try to hold us down. So just be aware that you're about to have this step up, you're about to have this progress, and the old energy might be trying really hard to hold on to you to keep you from moving forward. Okay, my friends, let's check out midweek, Wednesday, Thursday. You've got 9 of Swords. So this could be a lot of fear and a lot of worry. Whatever is happening in the beginning of the week, it's throwing some of you off, and you're afraid, and you're not happy about it, and you're very worried. Some of you are having a tremendous amount of anxiety. So either you are hearing from an ex that you were really hoping you weren't going to hear from this person. It might be the last person you were wanting to hear from, and they're resurfacing, and you're like, oh man, oh crap, what do I do? Some of you are feeling with this friend or family member or person that's just kind of pulling you down. You may have to confront them, or you may have to set boundaries with them. For some of you, you may have to cut this person out entirely, and there could be some stress or worry or fear over having that conversation. Other ones of you, you're just very nervous because you're sensing and you're feeling that you're on this really massive threshold right now, and there's going to be some big shifts and changes in your life, and you may not even see or know what those changes are, but you feel in your gut that it's coming, and you're just like, I know my life is going to change in really big ways, and you may be feeling really nervous. Some of you are waiting on really big news. Like, I feel for some of you, there's test results that you're waiting on. I'm hearing test results. I'm not sure if it's like a medical test, or if it's like a school test, or like an aptitude test. But some of you are waiting on some results, and I feel like for a lot of you, the message here is that you're worrying yourself sick unnecessarily. Like, you don't have anything to worry about to the extent that you're worrying. Now, again, this is a general reading, so it's going to be different for different ones of you. And if there is something going on with you and you need to go get tested about something, please go do so. Or if you have a test coming up, study for it if it's like a work test. I'm not going to come here and say that I'm going to know what's happening in every single person's life. And in general, I do not do medical readings because I'm not a doctor. So this doesn't mean that there aren't things that you don't need to look into. It just means that the mental process you have around it is not a healthy one. So even if something is wrong, there's going to be solutions to it. There's going to be ways around it. But stressing out about it and like losing sleep and freaking out and being afraid isn't going to fix it. So this is the time to really take the steps you need to take to work out whatever needs to be worked out and do everything in your power. And then whatever is not in your power, whatever you don't have any control over, that's what you have to surrender to your higher power or to the universe and just give it over to be handled, right? And then rest and try to be in that positive energy, because that's what's going to bring about the happy results. Stress and worry will only create more stress and worry. Your Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Scorpio, is Page of Swords. So some of you are having a confrontation. You are having a confrontation. It's funny to me because this card right here looks like somebody that I know. So it's just funny to me that it comes up here. So you're gonna have, some of you, a confrontation with somebody. Some of you are having a communication with someone. Some of you are getting very lucky, although this is not a typical message with the Page of Swords, but it's just something that very intuitively came up for me. Those of you might be very, very kind of like teetering. You may be very tempted to fall back into your old ways with someone, whoever this person is, or situation coming up in the beginning of the week where they're trying to wear you down. They may really have you convinced. Like, even you've seen this reading and you've heard me say what I'm saying, but they may really have you convinced that this time around it's going to be different. But I feel they're slipping up in some way. They're slipping up in some way, and the true colors are coming out, like by the grace of God, by the grace of your guardian angels protecting you and shielding you from this negative situation. The true colors are going to come out. And for some of you, for the first time, you're going to feel like you have the upper hand in this situation, because you're going to finally know that what their weak spot is, or where the one part is that they can't argue. It's irrefutable. You have your evidence, and you can walk away without feeling like you're the bad guy here in the situation. But yeah, for some of you, this is going to be a conversation, a discussion, a decision. Page of Swords is not like a bad person. It's not like, I don't want to call it, I don't want to say that there's bad cards and good cards. I don't want to label them in that way. But there's definitely some cards we get that make us nervous. And Page of Swords is not necessarily like one of those. But I feel in this case, in this instance, you are dealing with a person that you find to be unpleasant. You are dealing with a person that you may not care for, really, or that you maybe really cared for a lot, and now it's making a very uneasy situation for you. And it's funny, because Scorpios, I think for a long time, a lot of the cards here were about like your goals and your career and moving up and opportunities. But whatever's happening the first week of October, it seems to be some kind of like cleaning out your emotional inventory, like your personal life. And that's not to say you won't be going to work, and those of you who work, it's not to say that you're not gonna like live a normal life, and that you won't be focused on work when you're at work. But it seems like kind of the main theme of this week coming up for you guys is going to be some unfinished business being rehatched and having to be laid down or set down. Some of you are dealing with an air sign, okay? So this is going to be potentially like a Gemini, Libra, I draw a blank. Aquarius. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air signs kind of coming in here for some of you. And so what you're going to have to do, my friends, with this air sign is just basically, and understand that this could be somebody that has the element of air in their birth chart. You know, some of you may be dealing with an earth sign or a fire sign, but they may have air. Another thing too is even if they're not an earth sign, air sign, air sign, even if they're not an air sign, this could just be someone, because the swords have to do with like the mental aspect, like thinking, analyzing. This could just be somebody who just mentally is very manipulative, very crafty, very good at like getting in your head and confusing you. And I feel for a lot of you, this person has been a block for you for a long time in love. Like those of you who've been unlucky in love, like maybe you've been done with this person for a long time and you've had other relationships or you've dated, but relationships haven't worked out for you. It's because there's something here with this person that still needs to be resolved. Either they have like courted you for a really long time, and those heavy emotions and feelings have been getting in the way, or you just really weren't ready to release or let them go. Like you may have also been mutually courted here, but it's coming to an end. It's almost like I said, the last few cobwebs that have been blocking some of you, it's finally coming out. This is really interesting because they're telling me for some of you, Scorpios, this is going to be a father or a father type figure. This is going to be for some of you like the man that raised you or failed to raise you. Maybe they weren't around and now all of a sudden they're showing up, or they're writing you a letter, or they're trying to come back in, and then you might come to find out that, you know, they're just older now and they just need somebody to take care of them, or they need money, or you may kind of find out that there's some kind of like ulterior motive here. So for some of you, this is a father. For some of you, this is like a friend or family member who's just really latching on to you. But I think that for a lot of you, this is going to be like a romantic partner, or someone that led you on in the past. Maybe you never like dated. Maybe they weren't like officially your partner, but they led you on. Or maybe this was like a lover where you guys never became official, but you had hoped. You know, so I just feel like this is coming into really clean house for you Scorpios. Let's check out the love card, even though so much of this has been about relationship already. You've got the Lovers card, okay? And people see lovers and they think, oh, yay, you know, relationship and, you know, lovers. And they think like, you know, beer and Skittles and butterflies. But the Lovers card is about making a choice or making a decision. It's a very big decision. And a lot of the times the decision comes down to what your priorities are going to be. Like, what is it that's going to be important for you in a relationship? You know, are you going to be all about, well, I don't care what's wrong in the relationship as long as I have passion and chemistry there? Or are you going to be like, oh, okay, well, you know, decent passion, decent chemistry. I gotta be attracted to the person, but that's not my main thing. My deal breaker is somebody who's gonna be dishonest, or somebody who's cheating, or somebody who's like not working, or I don't know, whatever your deal breakers are. Some of you are re-examining your deal breakers, and you're re-examining what you're looking for in a person. And some of you are making a very serious decision about an existing relationship. Either you're seeing things about the relationship where you're wanting to walk away, or there's somebody else who's turning your head, who's tempting you. It could be a new person. It could be somebody from the past. You might be like, do I stay where I'm at, or do I go with this other person? So for a lot of you, there's big choices and decisions coming up. Scorpio, I feel that for a lot of you, though, what the decision is going to be, is this the person I want to spend the rest of my life with? So for those of you who do have somebody coming back, like they're coming back in a big way. Don't be surprised if you have somebody showing up and like proposing to you, even though you haven't talked to them in a long time, or at least giving you the idea of that's what they want. They want a life with you. Like, this is a big decision that you're making. For some of you who really don't have anybody in your life, and it's been years, and you don't have unfinished business with anybody, and you're just like, okay, like I don't know who's gonna approach me unless it's the mailman. If you're really in that state where it's been stagnant for a really long time, you may be coming into that lover's energy, and you may be kind of coming into adjusting your thinking around relationships and your feelings around relationships, and you may be getting very clear about what you want, and that's going to be helping you to manifest your person in the future. But this card in general is about choices and decisions and what you're looking for, and dealing with temptation. For some of you, the word here, the theme here, what you're dealing with is temptation, and you're going to have to decide if you're going to give into temptation or if you're going to stay on your current path. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the soul homework. So I'm going to use the energy oracle this week, and we're going to see what your angels and guides want you to keep in mind, to remember to work on for the week ahead for my Scorpio friends. See what the message is, what the homework is for the week ahead. I'm getting the number 5, so that could be karmic soulmates, karmic lessons. It could be really big life changes. So that doesn't surprise me with the cards we have, you know, coming up. There's some pretty big decisions that need to be made here. But this card here is community. Community. So I think what this is saying is you got some big decisions to make here, and you got things that you're worried about, and you got somebody who's coming in, but I feel like this person's coming in, again, like I said, the lower vibrational, you know, like soul acquaintances or soulmates that are coming in to keep you from coming up, or that are coming to take you off the path. They're coming to take you off the right path or to distract you. So you need to stay the course. Like, you're just now, Scorpio, a lot of you, you're just now getting on track. You're just now beginning to see progress. And this person or this situation is going to come in and drag you right into the mud again. It's going to derail you. So what your angels and guides are wanting you to focus on is your sense of community. Spend time with people who are like-minded, like you. You know, if you've been going through this spiritual awakening, you know, spend time with people who are spiritually awake. For some of you, you may be living in a place where, you know, you don't have a whole lot of people around you that share your ideology. Okay, well, you know, maybe there are message boards, or there are chat groups, or there are things that you can do that are going to give you a sense of community, or at least give you people that you can talk to about this kind of thing. There's like Facebook groups, there's all kinds of things. But for some of you, it's just going to be about connecting with club, a church, a group of some kind, a networking group. For some of you, it could be like a women's group or something of that nature. And for some of you, it could be like, you know, really getting into some kind of less popular community, I want to say. Like, maybe some of you are really into, like, you know, I'm just giving an example because it's coming up in my head, and if it's coming up in my head, it means that it's probably going to be applicable for some of you. Some of you may really be into like LARPing, like live action role play, or like the whole like Dungeons and Dragons thing, and boy, man, is that a community in itself. So some of you are just finding your tribe or finding your people, and that's just going to help you to stay the course, to stay you, to be the new you, the authentic you, and not allow this person or situation to come in and play all kinds of havoc in your head. So you're going to have to lean on your tribe. You're going to have to lean on your people. For some of you, you don't know who that is yet. So this is going to be the week of figuring that out. One of the things I want to tell people, anytime we talk about being more social or having your community, making friends, people automatically assume that they're supposed to be like going out and trying to be the life of the party. And you know, clients or people I'm reading for, a lot of times they say, oh, but I don't like going to bars, or oh, I don't like parties. I don't like bars or parties either. You know, that doesn't mean that that's how you're going to be social. There's a million, billion, trillion ways to be social. And sometimes it's as simple as taking a class at like the community college in a topic or area that interests you. It could be, like I said, the communities or the groups of people that get together and they do the live action role playing, or they do some kind of comic book collecting, or whatever. It could be like a meetup for something. It could be so many different things. So, and that's being social. That doesn't mean that you have to go and like fit some kind of crazy like Sex in the City type, you know. And I'm like dating myself. I don't know what the modern shows are now of like cool people that hang out or whatever is supposed to be cool. But it doesn't mean that like you have to live that life, or like, you know, fit a certain mold, because your community is going to be about you being you, not about you trying to be somebody else, right? So figuring that out, being comfortable with that, and being in that energy, and not so much with this cluster freak, I guess I'm gonna say, instead of saying the 4-letter F word. This is whatever's coming in. You're doing really good. Something's coming in to try to like get you off track and derail you. Don't let it happen. Check out your moon sign and your rising sign videos too, because I think that's going to give you added information. And check out the pick a card readings and the love reading for the month, and subscribe and hit notification if you haven't already, and then you'll get a notice when those videos are up in a couple of days. Now guys, please understand, my friends, you might need a private reading. This is very general. For some of you, it may resonate and you need to get into more of the details. For some of you, you just might need more information. I have private readings starting as low as $5. I try to make this accessible to everyone. So check out the list in the description and reach out to me. You can email me at AmethystAngelLight@gmail.com. You can reach out to me on social media, Facebook or Instagram, AmethystAngelLight. More than happy to set up a private reading. Also guys, on Amethyst Angel Light Facebook and Instagram, I do a free card every single day. I do a free pick a card. So if you haven't already liked the page there or followed me on Instagram, please do so, because it's a fun way of keeping in touch with you guys during the week, and it's just more kind of readings in between. It's like a nice little thing to keep the momentum going in between the weekly videos. So I hope that helps, my friends. Thank you, my Patreon patrons. I'm doing a new video for you guys this weekend. It's going to be the tarot class, and we're going to do more tarot practice. And I hope you enjoyed the special meditation video that we did for the full moon. And thank you to my patrons. And just thank you for watching. Thank you for being here, whatever it might be, whether you're just enjoying the free videos, or if you're reaching out and scheduling something, or, you know, supporting me on Patreon, whatever it may be. Please know that I support you. I love you. I thank you. Till next week, my friends.